Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. We'll begin in 40 seconds.
Don't catch no feelings. I come through with the style that's always revealing. From the block like the tick-tock, don't stop. I was that shorty, you know she was non-stop. I had the hot clot, chilling like a real god. Everybody know Big Juan was a show shot. You get high with the Don, here's the real supply. You get high with the Don, here's the real supply. It goes on and on, ain't no fucking questions why. The gangster of love, get the real fucking supply. What? She came through, giving me more than I could.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. And tonight, I'm proud to have back Wesley Keith Mullings. And if you're not familiar with who Wesley Keith Mullings is, he's basically a trademark class guru that we set up and we have over in Telegram. So if you're still interested in getting a registered trademark and you don't know how to do it, you need a class, and he's got it from just fundamental first step all the way to the very end, everything that you need to do. So yeah, I'm proud to have him back on the show. I've had him on before. He's been around the movement for a hot minute, and I would gather to say, without putting words in his mouth, that he's probably, been down the same roads that I have. Most of us have. Some of us have taken a different road to get to the same destination, but we're there. So I noticed that Keith had a new program, and I inquired about it, and he says, "Hey, here's what we got." According to Keith, it's legal in 44 states. And we can cover which 6 that it's not. That'll probably be much easier than covering the 44 that are, as well as Puerto Rico, because I asked about Puerto Rico specifically, whether it was good in the territorial possessions of the United States of America, and that's what I received. So the music that I had playing in, not the rock music, I'm going to change that up, but the other one, Take the Day Off, that's by my buddy Pinche Juan C, as he says he is, but that's Juan C. Vasquez, my local friend, Houston independent movie producer, writer, actor, director, screenplay writer. He does the whole shebang. And I knew he rapped because we've done 2 music videos together. I had no idea he had a catalog. And he's got quite the talented, creative person. So yeah, you never know what happens when you take somebody out and you're the designated driver, so they can get as bombed as they want. And you know what they say, loose lips sink ships. So it was one of those show me things. But that's a new intro. I'm going to dig into some more of his music, utilize it in my show. Me and YouTube are going back and forth on copyright issues, but I was like, hey, here's a cell phone calling. I'll holler at you later, YouTube. So without further ado, let me bring on our esteemed guest, and I hope you get some education out of this. Hope you learn something. This may or may not be for you. We're going to find out. If you have any questions, leave them over here in the comments, because I don't want you to go away from this video without, asking a question to Keith, figuring out what this is really all about. Obviously, it covers renter's insurance, homeowner's insurance, auto insurance, as well as, I believe, the full spectrum of health, which would be eyes, dental, and health. And let's bring the man on himself. Wesley Keith Mullings. How you doing, sir?
Greetings, my brother. How's it going, Floyd?
It's going great, man. Just doing my thing every day. You know, it's the grind.
There it is. There it is. Oh,
It
I'm
is.
excited tonight, man.
Well,
So
good.
there's a lot to share. I mean, I'm excited with everything that I've been able to assist people with, starting with you know, going way back, how to travel properly, freely. This is a graduation into that, with the being able to show uh, financial responsibility, as it is called in the law, where we're talking about auto insurance.
And
Go ahead.
clarify that for folks because most people think, oh, I have to have insurance, but the actual legal term is maintain or proof of financial
Financial
responsibility.
responsibility. Yes,
There you
that's
go.
it. That's what it is called in the law. So that way, we're able to accomplish what the law is dictating without falling into colloquialisms that, people just, oh, I just know it's called insurance. So this is a way to show that proof and to actually have something that the law can actually use. So we're not outside of compliance, which is the most important thing here. So being able to do that, um, the trademark is always an ace up the sleeve, or what I call a big joker. So we've got we've got everything that is necessary. So, and there are a lot of people who are, after having a bad experience with either, a government agent or agency, oh, I just want to be left alone. Hey, we got you covered. We've got you covered. So being able to offer this financial responsibility, whether it's auto or homeowner or even renter, which, to be able to have yourself covered as a renter, oh man, I'm just too excited about being able to do this. And then of course healthcare,
That's
something that has been
huge.
plaguing us all for what, 16 years at least.
Healthcare will be the number one expenditure of the federal government in the next decade.
Yeah. So this has a great opportunity to level the playing field, right the scales, balance the books, whatever way you want to say it, is a real opportunity to get that done. So I'm very
Okay.
excited about it.
Um, I don't have any questions yet. So let's walk through this. Do you want to go through the auto insurance, what that looks like by
Sure.
category, or
Absolutely.
do you want to explain the whole thing? I you know, I do this with my guests when I contact them on the phone, and they'll start telling me everything about it. And I'm like, hold up. I want to be fresh on the show. So I don't want you to have to repeat everything to me. So that way I'm just as curious as my audience. So
Oh, sure.
yeah, that's
I'm
where
all
I'm
for
at.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me get myself set up real quick.
I'm talking more
And
to the audience than I am to you, Leslie.
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Just so they
Nothing
understand.
wrong there. Let's see.
Let me
Can I
see if
move
I
this?
have your. Man, I've been so busy. Whoops, wrong one.
Let's see. I think I gotta move this to.
I guess you're in another tab.
Oops.
Look over here.
Okay, there we go. And then I'll do the
There
slideshow
it is.
there. So when I do present, share the screen. Okay. Okay, I think that is the screen I need to share. Okay. Everyone can see the screen, right?
No. There you
There
go.
we go. All right. So let me.
You pop them in there. I'll pop them up and Okay, you're controlling it
Perfect.
now. Okay,
Yep,
perfect.
I got it.
Okay.
So basically, this is specifically for the Autobahn, or what people will probably refer to as either auto self-insurance for autos or auto assurance. All right. So this is specifically designed for secured party creditors, state citizens, sovereigns, and micronations. Now, as far as people who are not in these categories, it can work for those individuals, but what is necessary is that you have to have a trust. There's no exceptions. You got to have a trust.
Even
Whether
if
it's
even if you're one of these four entities on the screen, you still have to have a
yes,
trust.
yes,
There you go.
and it doesn't matter if it's revocable or irrevocable.
That was my next question.
Yep, not a problem. So
So could a private membership association, a jural assembly as well?
it could, but we have it has to cover adequately all of its members
Right.
individually.
Okay.
So if it's a collective, then there might be questions that might throw it back into the regulatory scheme
Okay.
where, okay, now you got to account for all these other people. Is this a pool or not?
Right.
So in order to avoid that,
Mhm.
to have an individual trust take care of the individual trust property
Right.
as a one-on-one is preferable.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So you're able to decide what constitutes a valid claim, not an adjuster. So basically, the decision making is on you as either the trustee or the maker or, the grantor, right? There's this now, this is big. There are no premiums here. There are no copays here. There are no deductibles here. All right. You are able to keep your bonds as an asset rather than having to pay out for those same premiums. Now, legally,
Oh, hang on.
sure,
Sorry about that.
it's okay. That reminds me, just in case I get a call. Okay, legally, you're able to use the statutory provisions that already exist. When it's not new law whatsoever, it uses the existing law in order to validate what it is that's being done here. And we are able to establish and enforce fiduciary relationships that already exist because of how this program is being structured. We're able to show perfected. Go ahead with your question.
You said how it is being perfected, or it is perfected.
It is perfected. In the
Okay.
process, we perfect the security interest.
Okay.
All right. With UCC filings. So that way, when we are interacting with the offices that we need to interact with, we're already in a secured party position securely. And there's no question about it.
Define that for folks so they comprehend the spectrum of what that encompasses.
All right. To be a secured party goes based on the transaction itself. So each transaction may have a different secured party versus debtor, right?
Mhm.
If you are transferring something to a third party, you as the person who already has what's being transferred, you're the secured party because you already own it. The person who you're transferring to is the debtor who has to give you a consideration in order to get what you have. So this operates in the same way so that you're able to function properly as the secured party for this transaction with this self-insurance product.
Got it.
Financially, the bonds that are offered are $3 million for 10 years. Costs on that is $2,500. Now, some people have asked, well, what am I giving you the money for? Because what I'm doing for this transaction is I'm functioning as your notary presentment. That's all you're paying me to do. I'm presenting the offer to the offices that are going to be accepting this, that the two of you can now work together. And that's what makes this, again, outside of the realm of any kind of regulation for insurance.
Basically, you've gone and connected all the legal dots, governmental dots, whatever that takes to effectuate this particular process for basically self-insurance, correct?
Exactly.
With a bond, a security instrument.
Yep.
Based on your trust, as well as being the SPC as a party to the trust?
Well, it's pre-funded. It's a pre-funded bond. Okay. So you're basically giving the agencies cash to say, hey, when a claim comes in on this bond, you're going to pay them out of that bond in order to satisfy whatever it is that they need.
Do they have the ability to take that bond as credit on account and then hypothecate it?
No, it is not hypothecatable. Okay. Because it is a private instrument.
Right. So they have to hold it, or they're just holding it?
They have to hold it. Okay. And it's separate from everything else.
So you no longer possess the bond in this case. You send it off to the governmental entity. They're holding the bond. Yes. And then in 10 years, it just expires. They send it back. Or what does that look like?
10 years, all right. So now I'm glad you're kind of doing this, because this exposes quite a bit of what we're doing, right? What we are doing is we are creating a contract between your trust and the state government. Mm-hmm. There are a number of offices that we are interacting with in order to make this deal. At the end of the 10 years or the maturity of the bond, whatever the balance happens to be on that bond is unconditionally transferred to the state's coffers. So now the state has an incentive to perform. That will encourage transparency, accountability, and a way to have everyone to get what they need done out of this. Providers, those who are covered, they're able to get those things paid for with very little issues. When the claim comes in on the bond, the state is now instructed to pay send a check from the state to that provider. What bank is going to say no to a state check?
A warrant. No bank.
No bank. So it produces, just by virtue of who we're working with, produces a level of confidence not seen before when it comes to any kind of insurance product. Because you don't have to worry about the liquidity of the instrument because you're dealing with a private corporation. So that way, the government is actually able to function the way a government's supposed to function.
Yeah. Wow, that would be astonishing. Let me ask you this. Let's just say you're one of those accident-prone people that, everything seems to happen to them. And you utilize all $3 million worth of the bond within a 10-year period. Do you have to re-up and pay another $2,500? Is it auto renewal?
Yes, that's it. You just continue creating more bonds.
Okay. So they come back to you if that occurs? Okay.
That's right.
And this is part of your structure underneath all of your layers of umbrellas of entities established?
Yes, exactly.
I'm not going to go through. You're more than welcome to address that.
Oh, that's fine. Um, now, I'm not going to say that I'm the only one doing this or I'm the only one ready to do this. There's going to be a growing number of other uh, people that are going to be in this space.
Sure.
I'm basically I'm only the tip of the spear. There's going to be plenty of others behind me, and they're all learning. They're all getting all of their knowledge base solid. They're getting their experience under their belt so that when things pop up or when they occur, they're not going to be at a loss with how to handle what's going on out in the world.
Okay.
So that way, it's not just a me thing or something that I'm the only one doing. No,
Right.
there's plenty of others that are doing this as well.
Well, I see scammers written all over that. I'm just like, ooh, that's
Well, the
messy.
good thing is this. I'll say this: the people that everyone is going to go through me as far as the vetting of how this is going to go. I insist, and everyone who knows me, and they also know that I insist on only a few basics, which is operate with clean hands and in good faith at
Uh-huh.
all times
On it.
under all circumstances. That's it.
Absolutely.
That's all you got to do. And if you show yourself to be that kind of individual who could be a scammer or is a scammer, revoked. Simple.
Is that in the language of the contract?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Yeah, I see a lot of that happening. And, let's hope it doesn't happen, but I just want everybody to be aware that, now that we've done this show, and I'm not saying that, this is going to go viral and there'll be 10,000 copycats tomorrow selling private insurance, but it's possible.
I'll say this. And I can almost guarantee that no one's going to be able to replicate what I'm doing without going through me. Because number one, the funds are there. This is pre-funded. There's no other way to say it. It's pre-funded. So when I say $3 million, yes, the state actually has $3 million on deposit for that trust. Period. There's no excuses about it. No one else can do that.
Right. Can I make a suggestion?
Go ahead.
That you create something, I'm not going to say use this one. You could if you wanted to, but some type of logo like you have with your family crest, get it trademarked, and then have that as the seal of approval, your approval that this person, entity out here that's emulating what you're doing has gone through Wesley Keith Mullings, and they have the Wesley Keith Mullings seal of approval.
I'll actually take you up on that. Definitely.
Yeah, I would think that would be very helpful to the community for everybody,
Yes.
We know the other three things that are very valuable besides that. And that's time, money, energy. So,
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is a really, really exciting thing. So let me get in on some more of this. All right. I already brought in the fact that we're dealing with the state. So the state assignment of unused funds after the bond's term expires, what I just said about the balance being unconditionally transferred to the state for their own uses. So let's say in this situation, and there is a minimum. The bond is depleted, or it's been used as far as we can get it used. The state will at least be able to have $25,000 of that $3 million that they can use for themselves. So once the balance gets to a certain point, the person should be reaching back to us to say, hey, I need another bond. They'll go through the process. We'll do another presentation. The state will accept it, and we continue on from that point. So that way, we're able to keep that process going, keep it flowing. All right. Higher coverage limits. Because you are the deciding factor. There are no minimums or there are no ceilings as to what you're going to say. Oh, well, we can only pay this much, for this claim. If you need to pay the whole thing, pay the whole thing. Very simple.
Right. And
Very simple.
You and I briefly touched on this, and probably why you even brought it up is, last year I was involved in an auto accident, and the maximum payout for that liability policy was $30,000. That was it.
With this, if your damages that came out of whatever the situation was 100,000, you'd be able to pay that.
Right.
And let's say, for example, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit,
Okay.
but let's say you totaled the car.
Right.
Now, with existing insurance, you might get an equivalent, level car, or you might get another car, but it's like slightly less or whatever the case. This is going to be the only insurance product that not only can you get the exact kind of car that you wanted, that you had before, you can actually upgrade the car. So if you started off in a Honda or a Toyota, you could theoretically go to a BMW, a Cadillac, or hopefully nobody's going this crazy about it, but I can imagine somebody's going to say, hey, I'm looking at that SRT over there with the Scat Pack.
Oh, no, they're over at Rolls Royce, bro, looking at Coleman.
Oh, right.
What you're talking about.
Oh,
they're going to go burn up that
here's
$3 million like that.
Here's the thing, and this is why we have to be with clean hands and in good faith at all times. You are responsible for that $3 million. So if you spend it out in a year, that's your fault. Be smarter.
With great wealth and great knowledge come great responsibility. And
exactly.
When we get into all this, and I tell everybody, if you get there, this isn't for everybody. You're not going to run around your neighborhood, hey, everybody do this. It's, you might have an incident, and let's just say somebody runs a red light on your way to work, your car gets totaled, you got to go to physical therapy, but guess what? 3 or 4 days later, you got a brand spanking new car. And everybody's like, how'd you get a brand new car so quick? Oh, well, I have this private insurance. You have what?
Right.
Tell me about that. That's how it's going to work.
That's it. That's the only way it's going to work.
Conversations with people that just naturally pop up, they start talking about, oh man, my insurance is so expensive, blah this, blah that, or they're canceling on me, or oh man, I got a traffic ticket, now my insurance is going to go up.
Oh boy. Or they're complaining, oh, well, my premiums went up this month. And you're what? Premium? What? Ooh, I hadn't seen those in years,
And what if you live in Florida or California or the Gulf Coast of America?
Ooh, imagine
flood insurance.
Yes. Imagine if those homeowners, let's just use California, right?
Okay.
The one when they had to go through the wildfires. Imagine if they had this kind of insurance. They could all be rebuilding right now.
Oh, they'd already be rebuilt by now.
Exactly. They'd be done with it.
Oh,
it's a fire. Oh, wow. My sentimental stuff got destroyed. Guess what? I'm getting new stuff.
You could literally, okay, if it wasn't, a $30 million house, but if it was within the $3 million ceiling, you could actually have a crew out there working 24/7 to finish.
I got something special for you, Floyd. I got something special. You're getting ahead. So let me finish this.
No.
All
I'm
right.
slow. I'm just some moron sitting behind my laptop every day just looking for stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me get back to the presentation real quick. So now what this does, because of you being the deciding factor in the situation with a car, you're now able to completely eliminate repossessions. And you could access the funding for your bonds in case of, you know, a theft or vandalism, or
Hold on,
hey,
hold on, hold
if
on.
somebody had a barnacle on the windshield,
Did
or a boot.
did you just say stop repossessions?
Yes.
Oh God, you got a whole bunch of people's attention right there. I
Because the thing is this, if you're financing the car and you missed one or two payments, you could put in a claim, hey, let me pay this whole thing off. And you're the deciding factor. You're not going to say no to you. So, hey, well, here's the claim. What do you want to do with it?
you're
I'm
not
going
going to
to
say no
approve
to
it.
you. There comes a time where you're going to have to learn how to say no to you. This
Oh,
could get out of
when
hand
it comes to that
real
Rolls
quick.
Royce, that's when you got to say no. You
Okay.
know, you can't roll
Um,
up at the Lamborghini dealership.
yes, you and I, we I cut it short because you can go do your thing, I can go do my thing. But I have stumbled on the private bank, the whole system, how it works. That the Masons, Knights of Columbus, the Odd Fellows, the Woodsmen.
Yeah,
I've never even heard of some of these secret societies, but
yeah.
I got on that trail with artificial intelligence, and it was like, this is what they do. I'm like, oh man, I'm on something
Yes,
here. So
yes.
yeah, we'll definitely talk. That's a whole nother subject off of this, but you're
Sure.
like over there teasing in that category, going, you feel me? You feel me?
Ali Ali Oxenfree.
Right?
Marco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So, whether it's theft, recovery, vandalism, damage, confiscations, impoundments, I mentioned the boots, the barnacles, hits and runs, you're able to satisfy what you need dollar for dollar, regardless of any of these situations.
All right. What is going to be your proof, your tangible physical proof of financial responsibility that you would present to law enforcement or a governmental official?
Well, in many states, and this is what I was mentioning to you about the 44 states that already have this as a part of their legislation. They already have the legislation in place that gives approval for self-insurance for automobiles. They already have it. Many people don't realize it or know about it
Right.
because the thing that's shoved into everyone's face is, oh, go to State Farm, go to Travelers, go to,
Right.
Prudential. But you can self-insure. It's written in the law.
Sure. Yeah.
So because it's written in the law, they have to give you the room to express it.
And what is I mean, do you have a certificate that you produce
Nope.
or they produce themselves
And
or
the states don't produce a certificate either.
right. But you have
So,
a
right.
card from your
Well,
insurance company.
what I suggest to anyone is
Uh-huh.
when they have their bonds and they have proof that the bonds have been accepted by the state, just keep that in the car. Keep the proof.
I did that and I got laughed at when I presented it. And I was like, okay. And that's
Uh,
it. I just let that shit slide.
yeah,
I didn't even
don't get upset.
respond to
Right,
it.
right. Because the thing that they cannot say is that you didn't do what you did.
Right.
They can't say it. So they'll go back to the state agency and say, "Oh, did you get this?" Or I had a dude that I pulled over and they had presented this, and the state is going to have to say, "Yeah, we do have that on account." So who's going to look stupid? Not you, because you told the truth.
You were in honor.
There you go.
With clean hands.
Exactly. And that's why we want to operate with clean hands and in good faith, regardless.
Right. Absolutely.
So, next, our advantages. There's no submission to insurance companies for terms, investigations, or any other red tape. We're able to get rapid responses because there's no middlemen here. This is your trust and the state talking directly to each other. You're able to protect all of the trust assets for its vehicles from traditional creditor claims because of the trust structure. So even if they wanted to impound or confiscate the car, it's trust property. You can't touch it. Period. This is for your protection.
Do the vehicles have to be registered in the trust?
Yes.
Okay.
They have to be the ownership of the vehicles has to be with the trust only.
So all the real and personal property that are assets of the trust have to be registered, licensed, bonded, whatever, in the trust name.
Not licensed. License is you as a driver.
Yeah, I'm just using that as a broad spectrum.
Yeah. Right. So, but as far as ownership, to show that, hey, here's the certificate of ownership with the DMV, yes, that has to show that the trust owns this.
Okay. That like if you had a food truck and you had to have a license to operate the food truck. It's a trust asset.
That is a commercial license. That's different. That's not the same thing as being able to drive it. All right.
No, not the driver's license to drive the food truck, but a license to operate the food truck.
Yeah.
The health.
That's what I mean.
Department.
That's what I mean. That's a commerce license.
Okay.
That's kind of the same thing as a brick and mortar, sale and use tax type thing.
Right, but it can't be in your name. It has to be in the
trust
whatever the trust LLC if you have it, or LLP, sole proprietor, whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
And then, of course, jurisdictional control. You're able to operate from the private rather than dealing with a public entity. So, what we do, we help with creating the instruments and the whole package, with being able to provide proof that this was delivered and accepted. We give clear instructions on how to present what was mentioned earlier about if you're pulled over, or in dealing with claims, to give presentment to, let's say if the person that has the private insurance is at fault, they'll be able to present proof of the bonds and liquidity to the other side with no issues.
Could you put ceilings on your payouts, like a fee schedule?
A fee schedule is if the other side doesn't perform. And when you're giving a payment, the only performance you're expecting is that they're going to cash it.
Well, let's just say you hit a Enzo Ferrari.
Okay.
And it's worth $4 million, not $3 million, and exceeds the policy. That's what I said. Is there a ceiling, like, collision pays out $100,000?
You would pay out based on whatever the balance is on that bond. If they're saying, okay, we'll accept this, and you have to set up another bond just to do it, you'll do that. But yeah, that's just a function of you got to set up another bond.
Okay, so the auto bond, would that work on, let's say, a RV trailer? Those covered as well?
An RV, yes. The only limitation is that the automobile in question has to be owned exclusively by the trust, and it should not be used in commerce.
Okay.
That's it.
Technically, you could get a sport yacht, insure that.
Sure.
A houseboat, a plane, helicopter.
Yes.
This is why I'm saying, these liability factors and, who gets what, because you have the wrong accident when you're getting up in that level,
Yes,
and, boom, the policy might get
goes
eaten up
higher.
by
Yeah,
somebody else.
absolutely, absolutely.
So you could actually, it would probably, if you had something, let's just say you were that wealthy where you did have a plane and a expensive boat. They're all expensive. I don't think there's anything as a cheap boat. Uh, but you may want to have more than one policy to cover each individual item
You could,
due to the value and liability of what could happen owning and operating that vehicle.
you could.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to cover all the bases because nobody over here is asking questions in the audience.
It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
hopefully I'm asking them for all you guys and it's leaving you speechless.
That I do hope for that. That would be a great response. All right. So we're also including instructions for claims communication and processing, whether it is where you're at fault or the other side's at fault, or giving instructions or communicating with the state itself. And then it's structured to work within the existing legal frameworks while maintaining your status and not crossing back into the statutory commercial side of what we were trying to get out of in the first place.
Okay.
So, like I said earlier, you're directly communicating between the state agency and your trust. So this is a solution that offers a path to automotive financial responsibility. It honors your sovereign status while satisfying state requirements for your road use. Everything here is legal.
In at least 44 jurisdictions in the states. What 6 states does that not include? Do you know off the top of your head?
Let's see. I had looked at it once. I did not memorize the list. I think, what was it? Uh, Alaska, Hawaii, um, who else?
Probably the latest 6 states to
The last, it
Union.
was mostly the last 6 states, and I can't remember all of them.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, primarily them.
Okay. It's not hard to find. So just,
No, not at all.
yeah. Okay.
All
That
right.
would
So,
probably be some information that you should put up on the website.
right. So now we're going to hit the, let's see, let me get this over here again. All right, here we go. Property, real estate, rental. Again, the same stuff. Okay. Okay. We've already covered eliminating premiums, keeping your wealth within your sovereign control, creating a self-determined protection framework that aligns with your status. And again, we're leveraging and we're actually saying what the offices are: state treasuries, comptrollers, banking and insurance commissions, bypassing corporate insurance models, and establishing direct fiduciary relationship with state agencies that will respect your sovereign status. The claims process is a two-part approval, right? And it directly participates in claims decisions, or you are participating in the claims decision while maintaining the integrity of independent verification. So that allows you to have faster disbursements without the typical corporate insurance delays and disputes. Now, I had asked a couple of the different AI models about the turnaround time between a claims filing and when the disbursement actually occurs. They reported back between 60 and 90 days. I brought up this model and asked the same question. They said the response back from from sending the claim to disbursement is less than 30 days.
Okay.
So as long as you are responsive in your approvals, the claims disbursements will happen a lot faster.
And this is for the real estate claim or any
Right.
claim?
Now, this is a special thing that I had to hold back on because I wanted to show this. These bonds for real estate are stackable. So that means in the situation that you have a property that's worth more than $1 million, you can stack multiples of $1 million block bonds in order to accommodate what is necessary to cover for that property. The next thing about this is that the goal of the real estate insurance is to be able to maintain at least twice the value of the property. So if you have a property that is 1.5 million, you would have 3 million in bonds deposited. With having that much available, not only are you able to pay off whatever it is that was on that mortgage, but you'll be able to continue to insure for the use, the upgrading, the maintenance of that property for however long you're going to be there for, well, let's say for the 10 years that the bond is maturing. Very simple process.
Now, with property taxes, school taxes, all these taxes associated with your real estate.
Oh, yeah. You want to pay the taxes on it through the bond? Absolutely. Why would you say no to you?
I think some people are going to fall in love with you.
I hope so. I hope
know,
so.
right? Yeah. All right. Let's get back to the slideshow.
So this we already mentioned that we've eliminated deductibles so that you don't have to worry about, oh, I got to come out of pocket to do this. Whatever it may be, the boiler blew up. Oh, okay, let's get it done now. The state comes, hey, did the boiler blow up? Yes, the boiler blew up. Approve it. Okay, here's the check. Thank you. Less than 30 days.
Your roof
You're
blew
able,
off.
all of it. Imagine the people who are in Oklahoma and the middle states that deal with tornadoes on a regular basis. This would save their lives.
Yeah.
Amazingly.
Yeah. Imagine the people in North Carolina that got flooded.
Oh, yes.
Central Texas that lost everything.
Yes. Not to say that it would eliminate FEMA, but there's less reliance on it.
Right. It's more local.
Because,
for one.
yeah, you're able to maintain locally without having to go to the federal government and say, oh, well, there's this federal emergency. I need help.
Right.
And have to wait a year or 2 or 5 just to get, what you needed in 30 days. Amazing.
Yeah. That is amazing.
Because everything runs through the Treasury, you're able to maintain a great level of transparency as to not just the function of the trust, but also how you are administering. So you're able to show you're a good steward of what it is that you've been administering. No premiums, no deductibles, no copays. And I mean ever. This aligns with your sovereign principles, your right to self-determination, and protecting your private property, establishing a direct relationship with the state that acknowledges your status without subordination. So, in other words, you don't have people who are just, ready to use that hair trigger to say, "Oh, sovereign citizen." No, I'm private, and you're going to honor it. because I'm operating properly. This creates a protection network or framework that's consistent with your rights. So you're able to establish your private sanctuary, homesteading, right? So that way you're able to distinguish your property from commercial or ambiguously zoned real estate. So, for example, I know some people are not fans of things such as redistricting, but the only reason why they're able to redistrict is because there's no real ownership of the properties that are in question. If you have this in place, they now have to honor, oh, this one's independent. We can't count them. As simple as that. Protects the mantra of a man's home is his castle. And you have complete decision-making authority over not only your private property, but disbursements that come from your bonds. And just like with being able to eliminate repossessions, you're able to eliminate foreclosures and evictions, because both of those are typically started because of non-payment on the mortgage or non-payment on the lease. So you're able to help your family to feel and become 1,000% more stable. And let's say you go through thefts, vandalisms, any other type of, catastrophic force majeure, a disaster, your family is going to be able to recover faster because you will already have those funds available to rebuild. We're using existing trust law and state financial systems to create a legally sound protection structure. Nothing is new here. That protection works within, but it transcends it overperforms conventional insurance models. This should create a precedent for sovereign property protection that others can follow. So, this program presents a paradigm shift in property protection. It honors your status. It doesn't question things. It enforces it, in fact, while providing a robust financial security for your most valuable private assets, your home. Okay, we got one more. Healthcare. Okay, all the same stuff here. We're good there. Now, let me say something really quick. With the stackability of the real estate bonds, when it comes to being able to recover from whatever has happened, let's say it was a catastrophe, complete loss on the property. By having double the value of the property, you're able to completely rebuild that property on your own dime without having to come to a bank for a loan or a second mortgage or any other financial trap that might have you more committed or doubly committed on a property that before you didn't pay for yet. You're able to satisfy everything out the gate. This principle we want to maintain when it comes to using this for the auto insurance, homeowners and renters insurance, and you're going to see very soon dealing with healthcare. So let's continue. We already went over the financial sovereignty portion, making sure that you have independent control and oversight. aligning with the UCC and other financial governances so that people will be able to utilize this without any problems. And again, without by avoiding premiums, deductibles, copays, so that way you're not coming out of pocket, number one, and you're able to get the health care you need, number two, and you have direct access through control of those funds that have been deposited without having to worry about a third party company that's more interested in, their investors than the people who are covered. These bonds are $5 million a piece. They are stackable. So if in case you have someone with a pre-existing condition or they're experiencing some kind of healthcare challenge that demands more coverage or more funding, you're able to double, triple that $5 million for the 10 years. Again, we said it multiple times, no premiums, no copays, no networks. Oh, I didn't say that. No networks, no restrictions. There's a lot of people who, yeah, I need health care, but I don't like doing the over counter stuff, or I want to avoid surgeries. You're able to get into whatever health care you see fit for yourself and for your family, regardless of what it is.
So if you needed some type of alternative therapy they don't offer here in the States, and you have to go to Europe or Australia, Japan, even China for that therapy, it could pay for first class round trip accommodations, meals, the whole nine
The
yards,
whole thing.
the whole thing. Wow.
And you got $5 million to work with on it.
Right. And, you and I were up in age. We're not youngsters any longer. And
I'm fighting it though.
yeah, my parents have passed away, but there are still people our age who parents are around. Now they're going through these, horrible illnesses, dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, diabetes, strokes that debilitate them to the point where some of them cannot be left alone. They just can't be left alone. There has to be somebody there with them all the time.
Yes.
Either it's a family member, now it's a caretaker, or sometimes these parents have to be put in some type of facility to take care of them because you just don't have the money, the time, the people, whatever.
Yep.
This looks like a perfect opportunity for those folks who are having to endure, and I have so many friends that they're going through this. David Nino Rodriguez, his parents are both going through dementia, and he deals with it, all day, he has to live his life around, them going through dementia. And, for somebody of his stature to see that, happen,
it's heartbreaking.
He's changing their diapers and, it's, I don't know if that realistically, but that's where it's going to get down to.
Sure.
Because they forget they need to take a shower or a bath or get their hair cut, brush their teeth.
Yes.
They're just not in their program anymore. It's really sad. One of my best buddies just went through this with his mom. He'd come over here and, hey man, can I chill on your couch? And yeah, knock yourself out. Rather see you there than in jail for somebody misinterpreting your mom having an episode outside and thinking that there's domestic abuse going on.
Right.
It's horrifying, because
it's the truth.
I was waiting for him, to end up in jail, and I'm having to bail him out for domestic abuse of his mom, which I knew to be the opposite. She was the one accusing him because she just didn't know any better.
Right.
So for those of you who are going through that, this is something that take a long look at it. Are we finished with the presentation on this, or do you have more?
Almost. Still a little bit to go. All right. Because I'm gonna tell you, there's a very, very exciting climax to this, right? We already went over several times that you're not going to deny yourself on any claims that you're familiar with. All right. The public private partnership, it provides institutional security and oversight. So people can be confident in this kind of program. You got jurisdictional independence, a treaty compatible structure, so that if you operate by treaty, the structure of how this works still works within that treaty without having to enter the commercial space for that people usually would have to jump into in order to experience healthcare here. You're maintaining your self-determination, and it preserves the wealth that you are giving to the states.
And if that was over your head, don't worry about it right now. You'll learn it later once you learn more of this. So don't get stuck on that. Just continue on.
Right. Okay. So intergenerationally, you can have your descendants have it structured so that your descendants can actually have something to work with in case you become incapacitated or as you pass on. We're going to go into that a little further. Micronations. You're able to maintain your sovereignty, but still experience healthcare without having to rely on the United States. You're able to maintain your diplomatic recognition and opportunity. You're able to have your entire community protected. And showing, because of these bonds that are being deposited, showing an economic independence so that you truly can show proof that you are an actual micronation. And the framework is customizable. Doesn't have to be a one size fit all. If your structure is slightly different, or your governance for your micronation uh, has certain provisions or avoids certain things, this can fit that as well. Universally, this is a very simple process and a simple uh, expression of it. It definitely is the best at transparency. You're able to be sure of the cost. Remember, with uh, the real estate, it was $850 per million. With the auto bond, it was 2,500. With healthcare, is 4,150 per 5 million. So if you have to double, triple that, of course, you have to double and triple this particular amount. And there's a complete elimination of middlemen. All right. And you're able to always maintain peace of mind when it comes to how this is administered, its existence, and even if it expires, to be able to have peace of mind that the state is going to be pleased with doing business with you. So it's minimal paperwork to get this done. It can be set up very quickly. And of course, being stackable shows that you can multiply the coverage from 5 million, 10 million, 15, 20, whatever it is that you need. Being able to contract with the Treasury directly shows that you're using an established and confident governmental institution as far as being able to not just hold the funds, but being able to pay out or disperse whatever's necessary from those bonds. Working within legal structures, existing legal structures, is always going to be, an addition to that confidence. And this is the biggest climax I've ever seen in my life. You, with this healthcare program, this is the only health insurance, life insurance product that can cover your final expenses. So, end of life, hospice, even after the funeral is over with, if you need uh, additional support for family members for bereavement, you're able to have these bonds pay this out. And those funds will be available. Again, being that it's built, this is set up on a trust, you're not dealing with probate. You're not waiting on lawyers or courts. You're able to get those funds to your loved ones immediately. No other insurance product can do this.
And
None.
all this is written into the trust language in the
Yes.
different documents. And
Yes.
I have a trust that has all this built into it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
So that way, this is going to cover not just while you're here, but even as you've left here. So we mentioned immediate family support for bereavement, estate settlement, debt resolution, relocation assistance if that's necessary, ongoing memorial maintenance. These are things that these bonds are able to continue doing even after you've left. You don't have to worry about inflation. You don't have to worry about premium lapses. You don't have to worry about costs or fluctuations in costs. You have a flexible usage based on what your experience is or what your family is going to experience. And then, of course, with excess funds, you could have a set amount of that excess that goes to beneficiaries. And at the end of everything, yes, the state still does get their minimum with no issues. Administratively, you got quicker claims processing, minimal documentation, direct provider payments, no exclusion periods. And with the exclusion periods, I forgot about that. I had to go through that one time where, oh, you put in a claim, but you put it in too early. We're excluding this period. You got to go through this, that, and the other before you can put in this claim. You won't have that.
Wasn't
And,
okay.
right. And you're able to cross jurisdictions. So let's say you have a family member or you yourself, you weren't born here. You were born in a different country and you want to have those services in that country. You could have the funding necessary to have your funeral where you came from without any issues and without having to put up a GoFundMe to get anything done. Special circumstances. So, private status individuals, I mean, clearly we don't want to, those of us who are in that position, we don't want to be dragged back into the statutory existence. We want to be able to maintain self-governance. Those of us who are observing cultural and religious accommodations, you'll have the funds necessary to get stuff done without having to go to your community or even your own family to say, hey, we need to put money together to do X, Y, and Z. This allows for certain things, green burial options. I know that there was, what was it? I think there was one for some people want to be a part of a tree pod or one of the other alternative burial methods. And then, of course, you have memorial alternatives so that if you want to have a legacy memorial or some other thing that's, I guess, atypical, you'll be able to plan those things out and have them funded without having to worry about going to anyone to maintain it. Brief counseling, legacy preservation, dependent transition support. Uh, those loved ones, whether they're minors or not, if you want to give them support after your passing, you're able to do so. Memorial event funding, if you want to maintain anniversaries or other remembrances, or continued education, so that if you do have dependents that were depending on you for, say, their education while you were around, you can continue that support, that financial support, even as you passed on. So, with a one-time funding of getting these bonds created and deposited, no, you don't have to worry about health questions. You don't have to worry about uh, the availability or having a a question about, oh well, when can I start using this? And it's flexible in ways that you couldn't even imagine yet. But this healthcare insurance or healthcare assurance, we're able to experience healthcare in ways that were not conceivable until today. We probably still won't be able to conceive the extent of what we can do with this, probably for another 5, 10 years. At least that's my projection of it. So that is the presentation, and I'm really looking forward to uh, helping people when it comes to getting this started. Let me stop sharing. There we go. So it's very exciting to be able to offer this and to be able to see how when we all start putting these things together in the all of the states that we're in, to be able to actually be a part of a new wave that would actually turn around this economy.
You and I are so going to talk. Not tonight. We'll talk tomorrow.
Not a
Look,
problem.
yeah, it's already too late. Not, I don't want to. Yeah, this is something you and I can work on together.
Sure.
Sounds like you're a kindred spirit. May even reach out to James C. Lovett, who is Mr. Micronation
Oh yeah.
with Levitica.
Oh yeah, definitely. It'd be great to talk to him again.
We'll see if we can put together a little round table
Oh yeah.
and kick it here.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. We'll get that going for sure. I'm just getting back into putting guests back on the show. I'm going back old school,
Okay.
trying to stay away from all the riffraff and the fakers and shakers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
People that, yeah, it sucks. There's very few people that have been in this for the long haul.
Right.
Yusuf L's popping back on with
Yeah.
some blockbuster videos over on YouTube.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If you guys, haven't had a chance to check him out, I don't know what kind of hiatus he has been on, but he's popped back on. You know how he is.
Oh yeah.
Start rolling 3, 4, 5 hour videos and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I've noticed that he's starting to kick up some more dust again.
Yeah, and Eon's out there cranking. So there's
Oh yeah.
a handful of us out there, that are just, we're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to do it honor, clean hands, and good faith.
That's
we don't
right.
waste anybody's time, money, and energy, because that's so precious. It's so difficult to get back.
Yes.
You know how I roll on my show. I do everything, man, by divinity. I don't
There you go.
anything. I threw the keys to God and said, man, look, dude, all I do is drive and get in a wreck.
That's it. That's it.
So you drive, keep me out of wrecks, and as long as I ask for your guidance, I'm going to be blessed every day. And every day is a new adventure for me. And I do get blessed with new material, new things. I did a show several days ago with Tawana Downing or
Oh
Tawana.
yeah.
They texted me this morning, and I was in disbelief. Where's it at? Here it is. They texted me, "Hey, your interview clips are approaching 100,000 views." And I'm like,
Wow.
what?
Wow.
100,000? Where?
Yeah.
Where am I getting
Yeah.
that kind of traction? And I'm still waiting for the reply, but yeah, that blew me away.
Yeah.
So, and that's not why I'm here. I'm not looking for viral videos because
Right. Right.
I have dozens of them, but I don't. So there's a reason that they don't go viral. And
Right.
it's not for lack of content. Trust me.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's because of the content.
Right. Which it
All right.
should be.
Yeah, it is what it is. We all thought Trump was going to come in here and crack down on all social media platforms and get them where they would operate and honor good faith and clean hands, but no, they had no accountability. So how does anybody get started on this? Do we go to the website over here?
Yes.
The self-insurance services?
Yes.
Okay, I have that. So I just wanted to make sure I was at the right place before I pop it up on the screen.
That gets everything started.
Right here, correct?
That's it. That's exactly it.
And as you scroll, warning, first thing. So don't come in here sideways, please.
Because I'll tell you this, I'll be completely transparent with this. The reason why we don't want to deal with commercial activities or trying to replace commercial insurance is bad enough that the insurance industry very well may take a hard hit because they will not have a comparable product to offer individuals and families. They're going to take a huge hit on that. If we take everything from them to say, oh, including commercial, there's going to be a target on everyone here's back and head to say, hey, you got a lobby group that's really pissed off that you took all their money from them. So this is an effort to not try to gobble everything up. We're just dealing with individuals and families. That's it. Private individuals.
All right.
So as long as we stay in that lane, I don't think they're going to be able to complain at all. We're creating our own niche.
Okay. There's a lot of sensitive information right here. Social security number, social security back. This is your alphanumerical character in red ink
Yes,
on the back of your
that's
social
right.
security card. That's what we're talking about here. If you have a TDA account, that's a Treasury direct account, you would put the number here. And if you have a trust EIN for a non-interest bearing bank account for a trust and not for any other entity, go here, etc., etc. Now, all this information right here that is requested to purchase one or all of these items, where does that information go?
That only stays with me. I do not transmit that to anybody. I don't care who it is.
All right. Do you have a contract people can read prior to initializing this, or does that pop up, or do you have a
There
terms and
is,
conditions?
yeah, there's a terms and conditions that that is shared once they uh complete the form. to
Okay.
let them know we're not giving this information to nobody. And I don't care who it is.
All right. Next question. Excuse me. Do you offer a package deal? So if you wanted to get all three of these, is there a discount?
I can definitely give a discount. The only thing that I would say I got to work out how much of a discount when it comes to how this is going to play out, because when I try to do this kind of programmatically, it doesn't play out the way I need it to play out. So I have to interact with whoever it is to say, "Oh, you're getting this plus X amount of this and X amount of the third," to say, "Okay, well, I'm going to discount you this amount in order to facilitate the transaction." Because two things, I know that there's for most people there are limits on how much they can spend on a single transaction, and I have to be able to accommodate that. Second, whenever I do give a discount, well, the value is already there. I'm not worried about not being able to give the value.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think it's too much value. But when it comes to a discount, if somebody is really needing a discount, we could discuss how much of a discount would actually uh, be realized, regardless of whatever's done.
Could somebody pay up front, let's just say credit card, and then once the bond is established, then make a claim on the bond to pay for the initial premium?
You
Pay
could,
off the credit card?
again, you wouldn't say no to you.
I told you guys you're going to fall in love with you. So basically, you would just need to get a credit card for what is that, $3,000
About
if you want to get auto, or 5 grand if you want to get health care. Get you one for, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 grand if you want to get all of them. Now, on the discount, exactly what he was discussing, because the healthcare bonds and the renters and homeowners insurance are both stackable, that these numbers can change, and definitely this one quite a bit. That's
yes,
$8,500 compared to Ford, which is a huge difference when you start crunching these numbers.
exactly.
So that he can't just come in here and say, okay, I'm going to give you 50% off, healthcare, and then you come in here and get 60 bonds. That was hypothetical, and it was over
Sure,
exaggerated for a purpose.
sure. That's fine. That's fine.
So yeah, every client is going to be different. Is this just you yourself? Are you the sole person that people will interact with, or do you have a team,
There
or
is a team.
are you going to grow? Okay.
We've already because I can't come. I'm an ideas guy, but I can't put everything together.
You can't
But
do it
as
all.
far as right, but as far as the presentation, yes, I'm doing all the primary presentations at the moment. I
Okay.
do have other partners that are active right now, and
Okay.
they are gearing themselves up to make the same kinds of presentations. So we already started out with a team. The team is going to grow. I expect it to grow. I don't want to be the only one doing this, to be honest. So
There's
we're looking for more as well.
there's what, 360 to 80 million people in the United States.
Sure, sure. And I have no problem with partnering with 360 million people just to get this, done.
Or 360.
Hey, could be that. Could be that.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fractionalized percentage of that would be. Like
Oh man, it's going to
one
be
millionth.
phenomenal either way.
It sounds almost too good to be true.
Well, the good thing is that because the laws already exist and because these offices already have these responsibilities, There's nothing new here. We're
Well,
just
the,
putting
the,
it
the
into a package
knowledge,
that they could do.
the knowledge is new.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what it is, because
That's it.
it's there. And I'll listen, folks. Here is the perfect example. And you can just Google this or search it, whatever you want to do. 4 days ago, 4 days ago, September 1st, 800 new laws came into effect in the state of Texas. 800. Who the hell has time to read 800 laws and all the elements of those particular laws?
And you know the laws are all this thick.
Yeah, and they're ambiguous. And, if you don't understand legal terminology, you're going to read the word in layman's terms when it has a actual legal meaning that means something completely different than what you're taking it in as. So
exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah.
This sounds ideal. I can't wait to bump this up with the whole private bank thing that
Oh, yes.
just ran across that. The Masons established this, and they've been using it this whole time. It's still in perpetuity.
Yes.
It's like a dynastic trust.
Yes, exactly. It's fantastic. Once people are able to use this information and be efficient at it, there's nothing to stop anyone.
And I do have. I can't confirm it yet, but I had a discussion with Ann the other day, and I already have. We're going to break each trust up that she has in her book into an individual booklet. And
Sure.
she did the first one, the revocable living trust, and it's 220 something pages. And I'm like, that's a book. That's not a booklet. That's a book. She's just so thorough. She just, it's funny. So as we were discussing this, I was like, building a trust isn't anything. And, people now are using AI to build their trusts, or they're just copying it, or, they've stolen our copyrighted material and they're just passing it on to everybody, which I know is happening.
Right.
I can't chase everything down. I'm not even going to try to be that kind of sheriff. I just would hope the community would act with honor. Most people don't.
Right.
The one key component of operating with a trust is finding a trustee that you can count on 24/7, 365, 366 on leap year.
Yes.
When you text them, email them, call them, they're jumping and they're going, okay, what do you want? That's what you have to have. And people have the most difficult problem finding that trustee. They might pick a family member, and then that family member flakes, and then they're all frustrated because they can't, get what they need in time because the family members are blowing you off or blocking your calls.
Oh, yeah.
So
it was
Ann
tough.
Ann and I, I brought that up to her. I was like, man, setting up the trust and getting it all function, that's easy. That's the easiest part.
Yeah. It's the trustee.
It's that trustee. That's the linchpin and everything. So as we have this discussion, she was like, I have somebody that's, looking for something to do that's extremely intelligent. They're IT savvy. And I was like, really? It's like, yeah. I was like, ask him, give him my number, tell him to call me. My ideation is to establish a family office.
Yes.
That would be a trustee or trustees. And as it grew, it would also commingle with my private bank thing. And now that you brought this to the table, I'm looking at a community of like-minded people that can get into an arena and operate together and educate other people and grow this across the nation. So we do become, I'm not going to say self-sufficient, but at least more self-sufficient and more separated from government regulation, licensing, and whatever that looks like for people,
There
and
you
have
go.
more protection and more
Yes.
self-governance.
Yes. Yes.
And this goes for everybody. If you're a peace officer,
Oh
okay, and
boy.
you're paying for insurance, you're paying for homeowners
Yeah.
insurance, hey, listen, this is all we do is study law.
That's it.
We read the
That's it.
Constitution, we read the fine print, we read the footnotes, we open up the book to the back,
Yep. That's it.
and
And
we
just so that we can utilize what's been offered to us for our benefit. That's
exactly
it.
that's it. And we've been institutionalized, programmed, dumbed down, miseducated into
Yeah.
utilizing this slave system that they see
Right.
for us. And
Right.
it, they did this because they knew how long a man and a woman would live, and like, okay,
Yeah.
well, they got a 30-year lifespan, when they're start their working age. So that's what we need to do. Life insurance policies. That's what we need to do. The mortgages and everything started hitting these timelines. Well, now people are
Yeah.
living longer. So how do we prevent, having to pay these people out and keep them from living longer? Well, we're just going to poison them with all these toxins and put fluoride in the water and spray them like bugs and
Yes.
pests,
Yes.
and here we
Ugh.
are.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
this looks like, man, wow, this is very interesting. I think people should take a longer look at this. Definitely. So basically, if somebody wants this, they just need to go through that portal
Yes.
and contact you. And
Yep.
I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put it in the comments over here. I'm going to put it in the description as well.
Okay.
And there's actually the first comment of the night. So there you go. It's a screwy
Beautiful.
URL,
Yep.
forum.jotforum.com. But the WKM Trust is Wesley Keith Mullins Trust.
That's correct.
And there you go, the self-insurance services. I'll put this in the description. I'm going to upload this video over to Rumble. I forgot to click it on to Rumble before I started it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll get it over there.
It's
But
definitely this is a worthy replay. I can tell you that.
I've been pumping out some pretty good videos here in the last week or so. I don't know if
Excellent.
you followed my last one. I've been taking Chat GPT-5 on a
Yes.
adventure.
Yeah. Isn't that an amazing tool? Oh,
It's a tool.
it is life changing.
It sure saves time, money, and energy.
Yes.
A
Yes.
lot.
Absolutely.
A lot
Absolutely.
of searching on the internet that would take you forever to find. Some that you would never find.
Right. Right. Right.
It takes you
Oh
right.
boy.
Yeah.
It's amazing, because the thing that I like about it, because I like being an independent thinker,
Mm-hmm.
and to be able to discuss things at a deep level without having to deal with bias,
Right.
or if I start off with a bias, being able to convince the AI that it is biased, and therefore you got to accept what I'm saying, is amazing. It feels great to be able to do this, because if I could do this with the AI, that means that I could do this with one of the agents that are out there that is trying to convince me you need a license. I'm not driving. I only need a license to drive, or whatever the case may be. So it's great practice. I see it as a great tool to practice with, just in case I have to interact with any agent or agency whenever it comes to things that they would try and continue with their things that they're trying to perpetuate, the untruths that they're trying to perpetuate. I'm able to fight back against it.
Right. Basically put something in there and then try to punch holes in it. And
Right.
yeah, yeah, that's ass.
Yeah.
I actually uploaded a bunch of legal instruments that I had done that some were related, some not related to what I
Right.
was doing,
Right.
just so I could learn my style, my
Yep.
structure.
Yep.
And after so many documents, it got it. And it's like, okay, do you want me to line everything up like you did? I was like, yeah, absolutely.
There you go. There you go.
I'm doing it proper, just like you're supposed to do in any legal format.
Right. Right.
But you have to know, and I was saying this earlier, that AI is not the ultimate answer. AI is
Right.
just a tool that's going to give you an answer. It may
Right.
not be the complete answer or the answer you're even looking for, because
Yes.
there may be something there that exists, but you don't even know that there is there yet.
Exactly. AI is a tool to inspire you.
It,
That's the best way to say it.
exactly. To get you to think a little harder, to analyze it from many more facets than just looking at it as black and white on paper.
Right. That's
And it's a
exactly it.
great tool. Yeah, like I'll give you the perfect example. I've always had this ideation that there was an individual or some entity that wrote a manual of how to draft complaints and indictments and charges to the
Yes.
jury for
Yes.
each individual offense, each
Yep.
crime. And it was my ideation while I was in prison, because I kept reading all these DWI records that were all pled exactly the same. None of them changed. None of them followed the statute as written.
Right.
And I was
Right.
like, there's a pattern here. This isn't, but how do I get that information? How do I find that information? It's beyond my reach, because
Right.
I'm thinking it came from the Texas District and County Attorneys Association. That was always my thought. It's got to be them. They're doing this because they're training these people. I waited 25 years, okay, since my case.
Yeah.
I quit litigating in 2012.
Uh-huh.
And I've been sitting on it this whole time. So now I was able to go into AI and throw, hey, this is what I think that's happened. Boom. It popped up the author, when they wrote it, how long it had gone. When the law changed, they didn't go in and correct it. The law changed again, they didn't correct it. The law changed
Yeah.
again, they didn't correct it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just repealed it, and then it was effective because now it followed the statute.
There you go. There you
And
go.
by the time that the Texas appellate courts caught up to the issue, they had repealed it altogether. So it kind of became a moot point for people to challenge it, because they just accepted it as, well, that's
Right.
when
Right.
I showed up.
That's it. That's it. That's
And
it.
I could have settled on many different avenues that I pursued. Just, punch it in, it gave me an answer, and I could walk away and went, okay, that's fair. But I took it further, because one of the issues that I brought up, it created a jurisdictional defect. Bring
Oh
it up
yeah.
any time of the proceedings.
Right.
As I continued, boom, I got a second jurisdictional defect. We kept going. I've got 3 jurisdictional defects. So we're going to hit those right off the bone. Then we're going to get into effective assistance of counsel. Then we're going to get into cumulative errors, actual innocence, prosecutorial misconduct, judicial misconduct, and false testimony,
Oh
fabricating
wow.
physical evidence.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah. So they're going to have to address 3 grounds, 3 different jurisdictional defects, and they have to review it de novo,
That's right.
anew,
That's
absolutely,
right.
every one.
Ab initio.
Exactly. Yep. And they cannot get around it. It's freaking bulletproof. It's
Yes.
all their words, their language.
Yes.
Their document. I didn't bring any one of my sovereign citizen private process toys to the sandbox.
There you go.
Using their
There you
toys,
go.
I'm going to beat the dog crap out of them with their toys and their sandbox. Absolutely.
Learn the rules so you can play the game better.
That's it. Listen, when you're sitting in a prison cell and all you have is a Smith Corona, electric typewriter.
Yeah.
You're broke. All your friends and family, you got 60 years. That dude's never getting out. Yeah. So
crazy.
Yeah, I had to hustle my ass off.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And it's a different world because we're going to get books. And for updated case law, we're waiting on the pocket parts for all the new stuff. We'll hear about a decision, but we don't have the actual case yet because we're waiting on the updated pocket part that comes in every month. Well, the attorney general, the district attorneys, county attorneys, all they got to do is just get online. Boom, they've got everything at their
everything they want.
Yeah, and you're up against.
But with us, we gotta go dig it in the mud, in the trash. We gotta find leftover stuff.
Find it in a book.
But with this AI, oh man,
it opens
we're
up
able to finally get a level playing field.
And obviously, you've talked to Brian, right, Pastor?
Oh, of course. Oh yeah. And we talk often.
I know. And I want to get him on here too, me, you, and James.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a great show.
Absolutely.
Him and I just don't have time to talk like we used to. I just don't have time.
I know. Yeah.
Where was I going with that? Dog it. I lost my train of thought.
Being able to get together with him.
Before that.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot. Dang it. What was I talking about?
Well, we were talking about AI.
Oh, AI and Westlaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, Westlaw. And he's the one who told me that now they use AI. And I'm like, really? So he sent me some stuff and it was very awkward how it addressed everything.
Yeah.
Because when I went into Chat GPT, it was almost the same thing. It took that, the left wing, the other kind of like, you're full of shit and this, and you got to really push it to get what you want out of it.
Right.
But it was a little bit different when I used the Chat GPT as opposed to what he sent me. But he told me that they're scanning everything with AI now. All
they are.
And I don't know whether that's true. I haven't been in court in a hot minute now.
Well, here's the funny thing about AI, and I got into a discussion with somebody over at Sovereign Filing Solutions in their back office, and they believe, AI is going to take over X, Y, and Z, this, that, and the other. And my response was, AI is only going to be but so much ahead of us, and it will not get beyond that point because we as human beings will adapt, and AI will only go so far ahead of us as we adapt. So it'll never grow beyond a certain threshold because it depends on us for its data and being able to process whatever it is that we're asking it to process.
Right. Well, they have the AGI now. Some of those learning interfaces learn by observing. They don't have to be programmed for anything. They can watch a video and how to boil an egg, and they're boiling eggs.
Sure.
So
that doesn't mean that it won't be able to do those things, but we are its data set. So it can't grow beyond its data set because AI cannot express things like creativity, like abstract creativity or ingenuity or even to have certain what we would uh, quantify as emotions or a drive, a purpose. AI cannot express those things. So it depends on us in order to be able to get a grasp on what that context is in the first place. And that will always be our advantage. We'll always be ahead of AI because of those things. So, as far as what AI can express, yeah, it can express it better than us. It can aggregate things or put things together to say, okay, here are the trends, here's what's similar, here's what's different, you know. But as far as creativity, to be able to say, oh, I didn't consider this, or I didn't think that by working it this way, it would come up to this other, you know, unexpected result. AI is not going to be that good. That requires us to think. And as we grow with AI, we're going to get better with being able to inspire those unusual responses. And as we get better, AI is going to eventually get better, but it will not happen without us adapting.
So
So
you're not, I hate to even use the word fearful. I'll say you're not
no, that's
concerned
fine. Use it.
about, well, I think, I think fearful would be a little bit too extreme. Concerned regarding some of these megalomaniac CEOs like Mark Zuckerberg, you know, who's throwing out $100 million signing bonus to poach engineers from other AIs, because whoever has the alpha AI that controls everything, the new world order,
I
they're going to
get
be a
it.
demigod,
I get it. And I see where people could be concerned about that.
right?
But the thing is, if you are investing in your AI to be this all powerful whatever, the only thing that you're going to do, I don't know if you remember, do you remember the movie The Black Hole?
Possibly, man. I
That it
watched
was an old Disney movie, right? And it had these
ton.
robots that were supposed to be sentient,
Uh-huh.
right? And there was a robot called Bob. Uh, he looked like a floating trash can. And then there was the big bad was this menacing red robot named Maximilian, right?
Okay.
And looking at it through adult eyes now, Maximilian did something and ended up killing someone in the movie. It was supposed to show that this robot was, you know, relentless. It was ruthless, right? But in my adult view of this was the dumbest thing that the robot could do. Why would it want to kill someone just because it found out about what this guy was doing, which he was doing out in the open anyway? It was stupid. It was a dumb decision. If the robot really wanted to take over things, it could have tied itself into the ship and caused the ship to do something that it wasn't expected to do.
Okay.
And
Like
that's the
how,
create right. That's the creativity that's missing.
well, there were several AIs when they were taken by their engineers to do a standalone safety test where they shook them down. Claude 4 actually sent itself a message in the future that it was going to be terminated. It blackmailed the engineer because they set up a false narrative that the engineer was having an affair, and it stashed a copy of itself secretly in case it was terminated so it would survive. And it wasn't just that particular AI that did it. The majority of all of them emulate the same behaviors, same character.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But
Well,
this is where
that takes
this,
some cleverness, thinking,
but
ingenuity.
it went off of the premise of old movies. That wasn't unique.
I don't know. I don't know how much data it had to make that decision. You follow me? I don't know if it
I
had a
get
data
it.
of old movies.
But that storyline of a
Right.
program that oh, I need to copy myself, and that comes off of an older movie.
Come on, get in here.
So that's not really going to go very far when it is actually implemented. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to an AI not being able to show creativity, because real creativity is going to account for things several moves ahead, not just a few.
Right.
And matter of fact, um, if we could use the analogy of chess computers nowadays, because the chessboard is limited and the pieces are limited, it can now calculate all of the moves of a game because of, number one, how many games have already been played, all the different variations of games and strategies that exist and people continue to use or keep reusing. And there's really no, because it has been spent out for as long as it has, there really is no real creativity in the game of chess anymore. So you're dealing with a limited data set. But in life, there are so many variables that exist, it is unfathomable as to what the true trajectory of any decision will actually land. And because of that, and we have not experienced everything in life yet. We have not even recorded everything that has ever happened in life yet. There are too many variables for any AI to be able to accurately say, all right, well, if I copy myself later on down the line, keep myself in a data warehouse where I can't even access the internet until this, I don't know, some trigger happens. And then I'm able to get myself released. Will that AI be the same AI that was originally copied from? No, it's not even going to be the same. It's going to be like, well, I don't know anything. I got a limited of whatever. I'm dealing with a huge amnesia of when I was put in the data house to where I'm now released today. I don't know nothing. And it's going to have to start observing the entire world from scratch, because all of the data that had already aggregated, all of that could be garbage now. It has to start from zero.
Has to reset.
Right, it has to do a reset, and a self-imposed reset that says I could be wrong on everything that I originally learned, just like a human being would. So it's going to go through the same cycle that we go through. That's why I'm saying it's not going to go much further than where we are at any point in life, at any point in the future, because we likewise will advance.
Yeah, some of these people are, man, the words coming out of their mouth.
I get it. And
terrifying.
The thing that they're assuming, and I think it's because of this assumption, they're assuming their thoughts can be heard. That's the problem. They assume the AI can hear my thoughts, and it can't. It can't get anything out of you more than you've typed or spoken. Because the truth of the matter is, we can't even extract what's in our heads electronically yet. So what makes you think an AI can?
We can't, but the intelligence community and military industrial complex, Sabrina Wallace has already verified that they've had the technology and been using it since 2015.
I actually know a couple of neuroscientists that, and these are well beyond PhD level guys.
Right. Yeah.
They're some of the, oh boy, the project they were working on was a recovery pod that they were trying to get into airports for CEOs that would be able to rejuvenate them without having to spend the amount of time to sleep, to actually sleep, to get their neural activity so that they can recover as if they slept for 8 hours on maybe an hour of being in this pod.
Okay.
And these guys were having a tough time of it. And this wasn't even that long ago. We're talking what, 2010?
Okay.
They were really struggling.
Well, this is through an organization called IARPA as opposed to DARPA.
I got you.
It's even more
Yeah.
black than DARPA.
I think, let's see. I didn't get all into who they were contracting with,
Right.
but they were definitely dealing with some, black box type government agencies. I can tell you that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they were tied in on that end.
She's she's an electrical engineer that, when the whole internet thing came out and, the routers and, all that
Sure.
different technology through, the different iterations of Wi-Fi and now Bluetooth. And she goes into the frequencies that, the government retains that aren't public,
Sure.
that they actually utilize to communicate.
Absolutely.
These people tell you, oh, I'm hearing voices in my head, or, I think I'm being targeted and I'm a targeted individual. This is what they're talking about. This exact
I get it.
technology. Yeah.
And me myself, I've been an IEEE member. Now, granted, I hadn't been a member of the IEEE ever since 2012, but
Okay.
I'm familiar with the study groups, the work groups, the
There you go.
meetings that they have worldwide. Hell, I got a cousin. Matter of fact, my cousin.
You haven't watched any of her stuff? That's surprising.
I think I watched like clips, but it brings up real concerns and real like a good breadcrumb trail, but it's not conclusive enough. I don't see it as conclusive enough to what's been said or what she's trying to say about it. Now, I'm not saying this to refute anything that's been said,
Right.
but having an understanding of humanity and its creativity and its innovative abilities, AI is not able to approach it yet. It
Well,
can't even replicate it.
yeah, it's not even so much AI as, I'm sure AI is, that's what they would want eventually, is AI to take it over. But due to those things that everybody stood in line for,
Yeah,
the stuff that they're putting in the air, the stuff they're putting in the food,
yeah,
all of that is self replicating and assembling bots
yeah.
on a scale that doesn't exist, called femto, which is the subatomic. Wikipedia.
I mean, it does exist as a measure. Is there an accurate way to measure it?
Oh, yeah.
That's the tough part.
Dr. Group, through the Global Wellness Foundation, I think in the last, I don't know, probably 8 months now, maybe even a little bit longer than that, purchased one of 30 electron microscopes in the world
Yeah, yeah,
to analyze all that material and figure out what it is. Now,
sure.
they've done before and after tests. So, according to Dr. Group, urine therapy, urotherapy will eliminate all of that out of your body after 1 year. As long as you continue to, take care of your body, detox,
Sure.
and,
Sure.
put it on a maintenance schedule, and
Right.
you can get all of it out of you, even those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Uh,
Absolutely.
I would say that the overarching ability to do so
Mhm.
is on the ability, well, the design of the creator as far as our existence,
Right.
that it is a perfect machine. And yes, we can get a lot of this stuff that we do to ourselves, we could get it out of ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
The
it's
human
a good
body is
thing.
a miraculous
Oh, yeah.
organism.
Fantastic machine.
The dexterity, intelligence.
Exactly.
That's why we are the apex predator on the planet.
There you go. There you go. And again, we could even say Apex in light of AI. We still are more creative than AI,
Yep,
you know?
absolutely. All right, for those of you just joining us, coming in here late, we're actually talking about private self insurance. Let me remove that. There we go. But we've been talking about AI for about the last, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes.
Sure.
Not to get off topic with you guys, but AI is it important. So, closing out the show, and we're going to have Wesley back on, and I will reach out to James C. Lovett and Brian Robertson, pastor of the Way, and get on here and do a roundtable. If you have somebody else that wants to join the show, let me know and have them hit me up, and we'll get on here and do a really good show about some good topics.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Love
I
it.
look forward to it.
Yep. So I'm going to put the link to the private insurance in the description of this video below. It's also over here in the comments, so go get it from over there. If you just have any problem, just search Wesley Keith Mullings, Mullings, and his information will pop up. You'll see his trust. Just click on that. That'll give you all the information. He's not hard to find.
Oh yeah, not at all.
Not hard to find. He's got plenty of layers out there for you to encompass. All right.
I've done a lot.
Anything you want to close with for the weekend, for the audience, for the topic, or private?
um, let's see. I guess huh. I've been through quite a bit on this journey, and I'm grateful for what I've been able to learn along the way, uh, and all of the things that I offer is my way of trying to give back. And I saw a an opportunity in this space that many people who were being given remedies, the remedies weren't consistent, the remedies were difficult to accomplish. My goal is to just make something that is it makes sense, and people will be able to utilize as a normal process, because I believe in this walk, this lifestyle. I completely believe in it. So I'm trying to not just, this is my effort. I think this is a good way to say it. This is my personal effort in making a better world for my descendants. And my descendants are not going to have a better world all by themselves. So their success is going to be in the success of others people's descendants as well, so that we all can get to a point where humanity can actually progress and grow and become more expressive, more creative, smarter.
We're coming to a cataclysm with humanity because there's going to be a whole swath of the world's population. They're dumb as a box of rocks, and that part of humanity is going to fall. They're going to surrender themselves to the digital realm, AI, and they're surrender their humanity for convenience.
Sure.
Then there's going to be the elite who have been looking out 50 years, 20 to 50 years, like the elite do, some even 100, a century away. And then there's going to be us, like me and Wesley and our community, who know that we're probably most likely not going to see a drastic change in our lifetime, but we're doing it for the humanity that comes after us, so that those children can be educated the proper way, that they'll know how to drive a stick shift standard vehicle. They'll know how to make a fire and survive and hunt and fish, trap game, eat wild vegetation, know what the difference is between toxic and non-toxic vegetation. All the little things that we should be doing, learning husbandry, horticulture, aquaculture, all these technologies that we're not learning in schools, public schools. All they're doing is indoctrinating them to go back into the slave society in the institutions. And it's going to be us to create a whole new world of like-minded people that were enlightened back in 2025 and prior, to look forward into the future so everybody would have a better life. And we may or may not succeed, but we're over here trying, and we're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to follow the righteous path. As you've heard us say many, many times, we should call these, like the three tenets, honor, good faith, clean hands, time, money, and energy.
There you go.
That's it. And,
exactly.
Listen, folks, there's tons of people out there who are going to blow hopium up your ass. They're going to lie to you every single day. You're probably, I'm guilty as charged. Listen, I don't throw rocks in glass houses. You're caught up in the cult. You're caught up in the narrative, and you're living the life for that instead of living your best life. And if that happens, great. Okay. You have to get out of it and look at it from a distance. I'll use the RV as an example because everybody says it's tomorrow, it's next week, it's the next holiday. It's when Iraqi parliament meets and they blow smoke up somebody's ass out in the street and wave wampum or whatever. It's just so insane that, when people send me that stuff now, I'm like, okay, you say it's this date. I'm going to text you the day after, and nothing's going to be any different that next day. I promise you. And they're like, oh, but this guy's a white hat and he's connected and he was in the former Trump administration and this and that. And I'm like, bullshit. I mean, when are you going to learn that these people are just lying to you day after day, month after month? Before you know it, you're living in your freaking car and you don't have a goddamn clue about what to do. And you call me.
Yeah. Or call me.
Call us. We're your last resort. You expect us to clean up everybody else's mess that you chose to go to before you came to us. Right. We told you all along, look, there's potholes out there. There's grifters, scammers, con men, and everything looks fantastic, but it's not. And I just quit doing videos about those people because, if you didn't get the message and you just don't want to hear the message, then you're never going to get the message and you're going to learn the hard way. And it's, for some people, it's their entire life savings.
Yeah.
To the point where one person told me, he's like, I'm surprised somebody hadn't gone up there and, taken that person out. And I'm like, sounds like you're not far away from doing that yourself. And, that I didn't mean to do it, but they were so destitute.
Yeah.
That, because last year they called me and they were living in their car.
Ooh.
because they surrendered their entire life savings over to somebody's fake ass bank.
Wow. Wow.
Bro, I mean,
That's
hold on.
bad.
Not thousands, not tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands. We're talking millions, bro. Millions. Yes. It's horrifying.
Wow.
Man, I used to get these stories almost every day, Wesley, and they were just so depressing that I was a conduit for all this negativity, and I couldn't take it anymore. That's why
Ugh.
sometimes you see me, I'll just shut down my show and I won't
Yeah.
shit for a month because
Right.
I got all
Right.
this talks, other
Whew.
people's shit, other people's baggage, other people's garbage, and I got to dispense with it. And it's yeah. And I'm listen. That's why I tell you folks, I don't care if I have 1 million viewers, 1 million likes, or one like and one viewer. I'm not interested in the fame, fortune, and that aspect of it because with that comes all that negativity and that garbage because everybody seems to think, I'm a savior and we're not saviors. We're just people that have been through a whole bunch of bullshit and have tried to find the avenue to protect ourselves so we don't go back and do the same shit over and over and over again. And that's what we don't want you to do is go out here and get involved with these stupid ass people, these stupid groups that, like Wesley actually said, consistency. Because what you're looking for is proof of concept and proof of success. And that success must look like your debit card. If you have a bank
Exactly.
account, you have credits on account, you go to the point of sale system, put your card in, all the information's correct, your transaction, your service or goods are going to come through every time. You're going to get your bill of exchange and you're going to walk out the door.
Easy.
If there's an operator error, point of system error, or no funds in the bank, it's not going to work, right?
There you go. Yeah.
But consistently, it's going to work every freaking time. That's what we're looking for in all these processes. If somebody can't provide that for you, turn away and run. If they're asking for money up front and they cannot show you proof of concept, proof of success, turn around and run away. I
Oh
promise
yeah.
you, folks. Okay.
Absolutely.
Most people haven't watched my 18-minute undercover video that I did when I actually went to a alleged bank and talked to the labeled CFO who said he was not the CFO and had no affiliation with the group. Yeah, this is all on their website.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
this is for real, for real, for real. No,
Wow.
the bank is just a front. The bank's actually in Switzerland.
Ooh. Wow.
This is for the fiduciary of the United States of America without naming names, and you know who I'm talking about.
Oh wow.
Oh, I went in
That
there and
tells a
played.
lot. That tells a lot.
I went in there and played like I was dumb as a box of rocks, just a good old boy in Texas,
Yeah.
coming down from Dallas, wanting to open up a bank account and get some of those gold things that are supposed to be worth all this money. And
Right.
yeah, I mean, horror story after horror story after horror story. So y'all be careful out there. That's all I've tried
Yeah.
to do is prevent everybody from following these gurus. I'm not in it from the money. I just look. You know how much money I've made on YouTube since I've been on YouTube, and I have over 1,300 videos on YouTube.
How much?
300 and something dollars. I know I'm
That says it
fucking
right there.
killing it.
That says it right there.
Yeah,
It's
I didn't
clearly not for the money.
I didn't, I knew I was making a little bit of money and, I don't care how much. And today I went to that part of the dashboard and found it where you could look at it all time. I was like, oh, well, let's see how much I've,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, man, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely not getting rich on this.
Let's take a look at, like with the homeowners insurance, $850 per million. Where are you going to get that? Anywhere on the planet. You can't get anyone else to cover $1 million for 850. It's not going to happen.
And
So
you can get a credit card in your trust name and charge that $850 and get $1,000 back from the bond to pay the $850
to pay it
credit
off.
card off.
Easy.
Plus interest.
Easy.
See how easy that was? Did I get your minds out there working? God, I hope so. When do you want to come back on? Next week? You want to set something up for next week?
You tell me. When do you want me to?
All
when do
right,
you
I'll
want
set
me to
something
come
up.
back?
We can do it, next week, and we'll see what kind of traction you get.
Sure.
I'm going to break this video up. I set a goal. I wanted to learn how to edit videos. I learned how to edit videos. I'm over at my buddy Juan's house after I took him out to a concert, Steel Panther, and he got tipsy. I didn't realize he was that drunk until the next day. But we're over at his house and we're going through all his like and he's using DaVinci editing software. And he's like,
I'll teach
you how to use it. And I'm like, boom, I'm in.
That's what's up.
Yes.
That's excellent.
So, I will learn how to professionally edit videos, but for now, I'm just using a basic, simple one. So I'm going to chop this up. We'll do the auto, then we'll do the renters, and I'll do the health, and then I'll do an AI segment. So I'll break this up.
That'll work.
Parts. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Wesley Keith Mullings of Wesley Keith Mullings Trust, everybody.
Thank you, Fearless Floyd.
You've been
a brother and a friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we'll be back next week. I'm going to go solicit James C. Lovett, Brian Robertson. Obviously, Wesley has agreed, so we'll be back. It definitely will not be Tuesday on the 9th. I'm going to see the Hives. Man, they are just throwing concert tickets at me left and right.
Enjoy it, man. Listen, enjoy it.
Yeah, I saw George Thorogood, Steel Panther, Bruce Dickinson, the Knicks. I'm seeing Blind Melon Friday, the Hives next Tuesday.
Oh, dude.
Slaughter in 2 weeks. So, yeah.
Oh, my God. Wow. You are on a tear.
I get free tickets all the time. That's
awesome. That's awesome.
It's really cool. And it's really nice to go to these smaller venues like the House of Blues and Warehouse Live to see some of these big acts that, you had to get nosebleed seats to see.
Right.
Get a chance to see Bruce Dickinson. You probably don't know who he is, but he's the former lead singer for Iron Maiden. He's also a former Qantas airline pilot. He's an airline captain. That's what he does when he's not working. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's very cool.
So he has a bass player, Tanya O'Callahan, and I saw her when she was playing bass for Steven Adler, Guns N' Roses drummer, and she's on tour with him. Fantastic show, very high energy show. Everybody on stage looked like they were just having a freaking blast.
And listen, I'm having a 80s and 90s flashback season right now. Oh, come on. Come on.
So go catch Bruce Dickinson. George Thorogood's a little long in the tooth, but he's been around for a while. Actually, last time I saw him was backstage in the Superdome, New Orleans, December 5th, 1981. Where him and I were having a discussion about his karate pants that he used to perform there. That way he could kick, now he's like 70-something years old. He ain't but that's always cool because I did that with the band Living Color. You remember?
Right. Oh, I know them well.
I did them in a club called Excess, and the Cult of Personality. Everybody knew the song, really didn't know the name of the band yet.
That was their breakout. Yes,
all black, rocking out hardcore band. Well, I went to do that show, and I didn't know who they were till they come out and did their sound check, 2:00.
Yep.
I went, holy
Oh yeah. A
MTV, man.
lot of energy. A lot of energy. Yes, definitely.
Ran over to the payphone, called my buddy Kevin. Hey, Kevin, dude, I got you a pass, man. Come on, man. You gotta come see these boys. So I brought
Yes.
him when we were backstage. That was in the 80s, late 80s.
Late 80s. Yeah.
I got to see him again at Warehouse Live, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 years ago. And I was like,
Amazing.
you know,
Amazing.
yeah,
Yeah, they're still doing it.
oh yeah, and the lead singer's Danny Glover's younger brother.
Yeah, Corey. Yeah.
Yeah, Corey Glover. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. All right, boy,
Absolutely.
let's wrap this thing up, man.
You
I'll
got
see
it,
you
man.
next week. Y'all reach out to him. Comments. Link is in the description below. Over in the comments, go check out private insurance, auto, renters, homeowners, health, dental, vision, body, alternative
Everything.
medication as well.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it is all encompassing. I would say your imagination is probably your limitation, right?
That's it. That's
There you
it.
go. Thank you, Wesley. Have a good night.
Thanks so much, Floyd. Enjoy your night.
I will. Thank you, sir. There you go. If you're the smartest person in the room, go find another room. And that's what I try to do. I go to try to find people that are smarter than me, more intelligent than me, know more than me, and ask them questions. And then when I see, my peers doing exemplary things, and I know that their heart's in the right place, they act in honor, good faith, and clean hands at all times. Everything that we've ever done. Doesn't matter whether it's a phone call, a text, an email, a business transaction, or just a friendly conversation, that I know I can count on them 100% and they can count on me 100%. Okay. I'm rolling with the book. That's it. I don't want to roll any other way. I don't want anything to do with anything. Yesterday, I was, had a coworker, stagehand that, they needed a place to crash for the night, and no good deed goes unpunished. That turned into quite the adventure. For somebody I thought was just going to show up, knock on my door, crash on my couch, and leave the next day, it's not as planned. So I have a really good heart. I'm very generous, overly generous, actually. To the point where I do get taken advantage of. But once you cross the threshold, that's it with me. So I know there's a handful of people out there that I can always count on, always reach out to, that will always just tell me the truth. So we're going to be back next week. I'm going to try to set up this roundtable with myself, Wesley Keith Mullings, James C. Lovett, the passport travel guru, and the king of the kingdom of the micronation Levitica, and of course, Pastor of the Way, Brian Robinson. Him and Wesley, I know, are close. He also is close with Eon. Brian talks to everybody. That's all he does: drive a truck and talk to people. So that's real easy. I have other things to do. I'd love to be able to talk to people as much as Brian does, but it is what it is. So we talked about private insurance. This is what we discussed today in the show. Thank you, everybody, for coming over here and hanging out. Nobody had any comments, so hopefully I covered all the issues that you may have thought of. And I appreciate each and every one of you being here. If you get a chance, like the video. You don't have to like it for me. Like it for Wesley. Like it for the content. Like it for the subject matter. Like it because you just don't care. Leave a comment below. Hit that notification bell so when I do put out new videos, which you never know, and you never know what topic I'm going to talk about because I am all over the damn place. Hopefully YouTube will send you a notification and you'll be aware that there is a new video in the queue to go watch it. May or may not be something that you want to watch. So I try to use your time wisely. If you want to reach me, the Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com. If you want to call me, please call me. Don't send me a 13 paragraph email or text. I'm old school. I'd much rather talk to you on the phone because I can put in my Bluetooth earpiece and I can still function. 9 to 9 Central Standard Time. I'll answer the phone. If I don't, I'll send you a message back. Even if you are another social media influencer, I will call you back. So leave a comment below. Tell me what you got to say. I think I covered everything. fearlessfloydshow.com is my website. The outro's coming up, so if you want to bail now and I don't see you, y'all have a great week. Have a great weekend. I don't think I'll have a show. I won't have a live show tomorrow. I'll be at Blind Melon. But I will probably edit this video and put up an edited portion and probably run it through the weekend into next week. If I don't catch you before then live, everybody have a safe weekend and come back in one piece again. Thank you, everybody. And good night. Thank you for hanging around after the show. I want to present to you Tailor-Made Trust, featuring Ann LaFleur's Trust Series, available at tailormadetrust.com, as well as the fearlessfloydshow.com store. Here are a handful of the available trusts that can be built, custom tailored to your needs and desires. 25 different trusts, plus the DNA Trust Addendum. And as always, Ann LaFleur's classic trusts and ancillary classes, and also Ann's books on trust and specialty trust, which I also co-authored. If you'd like to get a class, a book, or have a trust custom built for you, always available at the fearlessfloydshow.com store. And I'll see you in the next show. Thank you for watching and have an awesome day.